What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today, lads, we're going to be making a kind of interesting enough video. So, like, I basically have made one of these rambled for 15 minutes, and I don't think I really got to the point that which I wanted to make. But this has been a tweet that has kind of caused a lot of uproar amongst the community, and I just want to say this right now. Anyone who gets banned for like performing the dark arts, anyone who gets banned for breaking terms of service deserves their ban. I do want to say this right now, is if you do get a ban, you can't complain. If you do get a ban, you cannot complain about it. I just feel like that is one thing that's happened a lot of people who will get banned for this are going to complain. I don't think you have any right to complain if you do get banned, because you are people are very, very evidently breaking terms of service. So I think that getting banned is completely justified in this situation. But that doesn't mean that what 2K have done here is right. And I don't mind this tweet. First of all, it shouldn't have come at the content time. It shouldn't have replaced their content tweet. But it's very evident from just looking at this game that 2K are making less money. 2K are making less money through microtransactions. They're making less money on packs. That is something that is very, very evident with this game. And I don't think that this tweet helps at 2K at all in terms of their finances. Like, I've spent so much damn money on this game. I'm somebody who has been banned in the past, back in 2K20, multiple times for breaking terms of service. And again, I'm someone where if I do get banned, I'll take it on the cheek. If I do get banned, you probably wouldn't even know that I've been banned. Like, that's where the issue was. Like, in 2K20, people don't realize that I got banned like 3 or 4 times that year. But at the same time, the reason why nobody knew was because I didn't make a big spectacle of it, because I knew I was in the wrong. And that's one of the things you will see, is you're going to see a lot of people claim they got banned for no reason when this is clearly the reason they were banned. But I do have to say is I don't begrudge anyone for doing it. I don't. For example, if you want to get Yao Ming, that's 2 million MT. If you want to go to a third-party website to get that, you're paying about $80. You're paying about $80 to $100. Maybe actually no, it's a little more than that. Let's just say most $150 you're paying for Yao Ming, which is a ridiculous amount for a card. But when you take into account that if you want to open Yao Ming through packs, first of all, you're never going to pull them. It's probably going to cost you, I would say, a low estimate, $800. In order to get as much, to get enough MT out of packs or VC, I would say, actually it's a little bit better this year than last year because the basic cards cost a little bit more because they're a little bit rare. I would say it would cost hours and hours and hours of selling everything and about $500. If you sold absolutely everything. Which is a hell of a lot. Which is a hell of a lot more than like 150 and no time at all taken. And you also don't have to gamble. So a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, you're saying, oh, people should perform the dark arts. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think there is a risk of getting banned. And I actually would appreciate it. Like I wouldn't mind if 2K become more quick with the ban hammer. I wouldn't mind it. Because at the end of the day, people are breaking toss. Like, people that are breaking toss, I'm not going to say, it should be a bannable offense. But the big issue is that I'm just saying, I'm like, oh yeah, 2K are going to be banning everyone from this. The reason is that they have created a system. They've created a monster. They have created the current culture of everybody buying MT rather than spending money on VC. It has been created by 2K themselves. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No tweets are going to help it unless 2K are proactive in making a change into how their monetization works. This will never stop. It will never, ever, ever stop unless 2K can be proactive. So, is it the fault of the player? Are the players in the wrong? Yes. Do I put any fault on the player? No. None whatsoever. I don't even put the slightest bit of fault on the player. Because if you can save money by doing something, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's like, for example, when we look at, especially as somebody who's a fan of the English Premier League, if you want to watch every Premier League game, first of all, you can't because of the 3 p.m. embargo. But if you're in England and you want to watch every non-3 p.m. on Saturday game, it's going to cost you £800 a year for all the subscriptions. £800 a year. And then these companies are believing that like the all illegal stream is killing is the reason why no one's paying. It's like, no, it's because it's gone from like a somewhat, like it might have gone from back in the day £200-300 a year to 800. So that's why people are cool with paying a certain amount of money to get stuff. But when it becomes so overpriced and there is such a cheaper alternative, that's when people start to look for the alternative. When things become out of the price range, especially now with us going into a cost of living crisis. Heck, I'm in Ireland. It's -degrees and I'm wearing a snuggie instead of turning on the heat because of the cost of living crisis here. It's one of those things that they've just got to be more proactive. So this is what I do think, is that this is never going to end until the day comes where a person decides, I want to spend money on 2K, and that instead of even thinking about purchasing MT, their first thought is, I'm going to buy VC. And making pack odds better, making packs cheaper is not going to actually do that. Because some people don't want to gamble, including myself. Like, I hate having to do it. I hate how much money I've spent gambling on packs this year. I actually hate it. Like, just to keep up. I've gotten incredibly lucky. Like, I've gotten three cards this year that have sold for over $500,000, and then I've just been buying and selling. I normally make all my MT sniping on Friday. I made all my MT at the start of the year sniping on Fridays, every second week when those new sets came out, because you could get a lot of really cheap players in that. But at the same time, it's 2K need to make it in a way so that they're somewhat financially equal. So, for example, let's just say James Harden, who's $500,000 MT. That card's really expensive. And you don't have to do this with everybody. You don't. Like, I understand them not wanting to do this with you. What 2K could have done is, let's just say, to get James Harden, it's going to cost you $500,000 MT. Let's just say $30 or something going by performing the dark arts. Then why not 75,000 VC untradeable James Harden? What's wrong with that? 75k VC untradeable James Harden. So $20. He's untradeable. So at least 2K don't have the issue of them flooding the market. And then what happens is that nobody considers even looking to an MT site, because they're like, oh, I can spend 30 on an MT site to get James Harden, or I can just spend 20 and get him through 2K. Sure, he's unauctionable, but at the end of the day, I just want James Harden. And especially if they're quicker with the ban hammer. If they're quick with the ban hammer and they offer this as an alternative, they're going to make more money themselves. Because at the end of the day, I know, like, as much as people want to hate 2K, like, most people would say if there was somewhat affordable alternatives, they would rather be spending money on VC than spending money on, like, these, like, I'm not going to say, like, these dodgy enough websites. But, like, I don't think it's going to happen, and I think that this problem is never going to stop. There's no amount of these tweets, there's no amount of bans that they can give out that will stop this, unfortunately. Because when we've seen big ban hammers, we've seen innocent people get ban hammered. Like, we've seen whenever they bring out these ban hammers, they always ban people for like, this is a bannable offense with 2K's if they ever do a ban hammer with their automated systems, this ends up being a bannable offense. Buying a card, putting 50 Hall of Fame badges on it, selling the card for $3 million. Like, that is a bannable offense. So they need to be proactive. My big problem with 2K. They're reactive in everything. Everything 2K do is reactive. So they're obviously making a lot less from packs than normal. So they're tweeting this out and they're going to be banning people as a reaction because they feel people are spending more money on MT rather than buying packs, instead of looking at the main issues, knowing that most people buy packs for two reasons. Either they're gambling addicts or they just want a specific card. The guys that are gambling addicts are going to buy packs anyway. That's indifferent. The guys that are addicted to gambling are going to buy packs anyway, or people that want a specific card. If people want a specific card, giving them an opportunity to buy that specific card is going to help a lot. If 2K made MyTEAM, they could do what MLB do, make MyTEAM points the only currency in the game and sell it through that. But what they can't do is let you buy cards in auction through VC, because that causes a whole bunch of more problems. But there are significant ways that 2K can be proactive and not only get more people buying VC and less people buying MTs if they're proactive. If they can find a way so that buying VC is at least comparable in terms of price to buying MT, then you're going to see way more people buying VC. Until they do that, it doesn't matter what they try, nothing is ever going to work. Until the day comes where and it doesn't need to be better value, because VC or the MT guys will always undercut it. But until the day comes that it is somewhat comparable in terms of price to buy a card using VC or buy a card using MT, until the day comes that it's comparable, we are never going to see this end. So 2K can do whatever the hell they want. It is never going to stop until they are proactive. The players are not going to change. There's no amount of bans that will make a person spend 5 times as much on something than they can get it from an alternative. If you charge 5 times as much for something and they can get it as an alternative, especially if you charge 5 times as much and force them to gamble, and they can get it from an alternative, everybody is going to make that choice till the end. People are going to make that choice till the end of time. They're going to make that choice till the end of freaking time. The only way that anything is going to get, or from 2K's perspective, that anything is going to change is if they make it so that it is a better financial decision, or at least comparable, for someone to buy VC over MT. Until that day, they can do as much as they want. They can be as reactive as possible. But being reactive gets you absolutely nowhere. They have to be proactive. 2K as a company are incredibly reactive to almost everything. And this is a situation where, as long as they stay reactive instead of being proactive, nothing's going to stop.